members from the community, and in particular I'm honored to have on my right Comrade Sona from March Central, and on my left Comrade Goma. This is I'm here in my capacity as the chairman of the National Liberation War Veterans Association. Comrade Mahia, my publicity secretary, is on his way. He's coming to join us anytime soon. The other members of the executive who should be here, they are in the provinces, they are busy on an assignment which we've given to them in relation to the upcoming meeting which we want to be holding. And Comrade SG Matematanda is also busy on another assignment. But I feel that it is at this juncture opportune and important to just appraise you, the press, and the general public about the certain pace of development of national events in the last couple of days, weeks, as concerns the war veterans and the direction which we are taking on the national political arena. I want to start by expressing the profound joy of the Zimbabwe National Liberation War Veterans Association that the provisional judgment which has been granted as to the legitimacy of our leadership elected at Masvingo province, which was being contested by thieves and looters sponsored by the G40, masquerading as the leaders of the war veterans, in particular Mandichimene, but of late, Mandichimene and George Mulara, but in another Matenda, but of late also another group which had joined them, Nyarwata, the thief of Zexcom funds, and others who were all pretending to be leaders of the War Veterans Association. That matter has been put to rest, and we salute the Zimbabwean judiciary, because the challenges which they are going to face are going to be many because of the wayward behavior and the actions of a desperate, fearful G40 which is trying to intimidate the populace into submission. So the judiciary confirmed last week, Justice Chalewa, they confirmed the provisional judgment which had existed, which says we are the only authentic and legitimate leadership of the war veterans, and we will be in that position until our term expires according to the Constitution of the Zimbabwe National Liberation War Veterans Association. So this is, we are very happy, and we want to communicate it to the whole community that the war veterans are in good standing with the laws of Zimbabwe. We know that there have been efforts by the ministry, and this is what led to the dismissal of the former minister. On the same lines as I was dismissed, I was the original minister of the first one, the war veterans. Comrade Chingadube was dismissed because he simply refused, as a seasoned cadre of the party with a long history, he simply refused to entertain the intrusive actions of the G40 as expressed through certain bogus members of the leadership of the association. So Comrade Chingadube lost his job, because of that, and we honor him, because he remained principled. We are hopeful that the new minister, who is also a war veteran, although his history is more checkered, because he went to Flores and ended up with the UNC. But look, these were choices in the struggle. We will neither hold him to that or neither, because some of the people who are harassing us, they were deserters during the war, but more than that, they were traitors later in that war. So we hold no particular brief against Minister Matema. We are welcome him in his job, but we hope that he will stay on the good side of the law. He should not try to tempt himself to become contemptuous of the law. And we are also hoping that those who are in leadership in the party, Zanu-PF, who were entertaining these wayward, bogus war veterans association leaders, they will know, they desist from now onwards to ever entertain them, because the final judgment has been made, the final ruling has been made by the judiciary of Zimbabwe. Zanu-PF is a private organization, voluntary organization. It doesn't exist under the constitution of Zimbabwe. So it cannot interfere in the affairs of another private voluntary organization, which is the War Veterans Association. It can't. We are under the laws of Zimbabwe, we are on par. They run their affairs the way they want, which is in a way illegal, reckless and irresponsible manner. We do things different because we are seasoned war veterans. We do things according to a constitution, according to the laws of the land, which we are very happy they recognize the war veterans of Zimbabwe, the laws of the land. And for this we are grateful to all the people who took part in COPAC, including the opposition parties, in particular the MDC, because we worked together to have a constitution that recognizes the war veterans of Zimbabwe. All these other people are not recognized under the constitution of Zimbabwe, but the war veterans are. So that pays the matter of our gratitude to the judiciary about the judgment which confirmed that we are the only true and authentic leadership of the Zimbabwe National Liberation War Veterans Association. If they want to form a league of thieves, of looters, or a league of braggarts like Mand, or a league of drug takers, it's up to them. We have no problem. They can go and register that league. But this one is an authentic organization of the heroes of Zimbabwe, and we will remain that way. Heroes and heroines of Zimbabwe, we remain that way. We have been very busy for the future as the War Veterans Association, because we realize that the real target of the G40 is the revolution which ushered hope for the people of Zimbabwe. And we are the custodians of that revolution, because we took part in that revolution. We took part in Chumurenga too. So we have been the particular target of the G40. When they attack anybody else, including the VP, including the generals in the army, they are attacking them as the symbols of Chumurenga too, because these people are sponsored by oligarch capital, oligopoly, oligarchic capital. I mean, what I'm saying is that the same colonial interests from 1890, they keep changing like a hydra. They keep changing their heads. They morph from one thing to the next. So the same enemy which the people of Zimbabwe fought against since 1890 is now manifesting itself as the G40. They are a continuation of all those who have been against the freedom and independence of the people of Zimbabwe, who have also been against the progress of the people of Zimbabwe, so that they realize the hope which they deserve. That's what the G40 stands for. And they can never forgive our generation, the Soweto generation of the liberation war fighters, particularly from the 70s. They can never forgive them for the demise of the Rhodesian colonial state. And the G40 is the latest manifestation of that state in a post-colonial order. They stand for those interests, and I will be expounding on that in my presentation. So what we have done is we have reached out to all the people who made a decision somewhere in their lives in the 1960s and 70s to cross and go and fight for the freedom of Zimbabwe. We have reached out to them, and we want to bring them into the fold. I think you've already seen the announcement. I made it at the last press conference about Comrade Jabulani Sibanda. We've apologized to him because he had seen what nobody had seen. Comrade Jabu, because of his privileged position at that time, he had seen what was going on at State House and the abuse of the marriage certificate of the president to his wife. Faced within that marriage, but also by hangers-on, ambitious hangers-on who are nailing around the First Lady, who always want to have a picture of the First Lady, but they don't ever want to have a picture of their wayward children, if they are responsible men. No, they always want a picture of the mother. So he had seen it, Jabu, and he made the remarks about the the First Lady, we have since apologized because we have seen it all. And the whole country is reeling from the abuse of that marriage certificate. This is the biggest crisis which Zimbabwe is facing today. An aging president who deserves to have his honor preserved, his historical credentials preserved, is now being abused left, right, and center. And his marriage is being used in all wayward ways for certain ends. And who are doing that? They are doing it. These people who are doing it, there is an element of desperation. Maybe they know something about his health condition, so they see that they are running out of time, but they are greedy and craving for power. So a lot of things which are being done now, they may be explained by people who are very desperate, people who want to intimidate, and people who want to usurp power before a certain time frame, which depends on the whims of God himself. They seem to be watching God's clock and trying to take advantage of that, because certain actions which are happening in the party now, they are real, the degree of recklessness is astounding, is disconcerting. Anyway, coming back, we have reached out to Comrade Jabulani Sibanda. We want to strengthen our legal department as the war veterans, and I've spoken to him. We think that we need to test the constitution of Zimbabwe and the laws of Zimbabwe continuously, because a constitution must be tested to see that it can deliver the wishes of the people of Zimbabwe. And if there are gaps in that constitution, let the judges rule. And if there are still outstanding issues, then let the laws go back to Parliament so that they be amended. I'm saying this in the light of what's happening to the Attorney General, the Prosecutor General, a new position created by the Constitution. He is appointed, all the procedures go into motion that he is appointed. Then the next thing, there is a cabinet reshuffle. We now see a government gazette saying that his appointment has been rescinded. Now, that's not the way you run a modern country. And that's a very, very crucial post, the Prosecutor General. It is important that the President and Cabinet apply themselves assiduously to that process so that we don't go through these kinds of hiccups. So we would hope that the disappointed Prosecutor General challenges what has happened to him before the courts, so that a way can be found. And if a judgment can be rendered, we want Parliament to look into that judgment and see whether, when they pass that law, the intention of Parliament is being fulfilled. So all constitutions have to be tested, because that's how a country develops its democracy, and that's how we would want. So we hope that the Prosecutor General Ray Goba would test the circumstances which are surrounding his appointment and his disappointment. And we also hope that the new Minister of Justice will allow the law to ventilate on such kind of issues, because that will be a litmus test of somebody who comes from the intelligence organization and becomes Minister of Justice. The two things are different. One, you are an operative; the other one, you are an enforcer of justice. So we hope that he will behave in such a manner that clarity can be given to the population of Zimbabwe as to what is the correct position, and the Parliament of Zimbabwe to be given also a chance to make a review of that issue. So we will need Comrade Jabu because of the new challenges which are coming, and there are many which also, we just reading now about suspensions which are coming out or supposed to be coming out of Mutsvangwa. There are rumors, maybe there's fact, because these young people have all been victims of such kind of reckless, wayward action by the party. So we cannot take things lightly. We understand that there is a letter going on the internet saying Chadzamira has been, the chairman of Mutsvangwa, has been suspended. Honorable Wajajena, there is also talk to that effect. We don't belong to Zanu-PF, but we are war veterans. We put the institutions of this society. That's what we fought for. They are being tested. We would like to see them being tested before the laws of the country, so that institutional memory is built within Zimbabwe about how a modern democracy should function. We condemn, if it is true, the harassment. If it's not true, we condemn any attempts to dismiss Comrade Zamira, who has been twice elected by the population of Mutsvangwa, twice elected, with the commissariat department of the party trying to contest what the people of Mutsvangwa want. Now they seem to be persisting with it. If it is a rumor, it should stop. Everybody knows what rumors did to Rwanda between the Hutus and the Tutsis. We have no room for such kind of rumor mongering in Zimbabwe, particularly because we fought a modern revolutionary Chimurenga war, which disciplined the whole country. We are very measured. Zimbabwean people measure their risk. They don't do things in a reckless manner. Don't tempt them by continuously putting to test their democratic will, as is happening in Machine. If you do that, you will fall on their wrong side. And there was a person called Ian Smith who tested the people's wrath because of his racist and colonial behavior. And punishment was meted out by the people of Zimbabwe. So we warn those people who want to abuse the democratic will of the Zimbabwe, which they fought so much for, to stop it. A popular phrase which has been done from elsewhere, they should desist. We also want to say to the other provinces, the 9 provinces of Zimbabwe, in the war, how we bonded as war veterans. You touch one comrade, you have touched us all. That's why even 37 years after independence, we were veterans. We are so close together. We are so close together because we bonded in a common cause. You touch one, you touch us, all of us. Congresses, according to the Zanu Constitution, they are for elected people. They are the delegates who should go to congresses. And that's the practice all over the world. It's in a democracy. You cannot shortchange the will of a province by simply appointing your friend and making him the delegate to a conference. No. The people of Mutsvangwa as a province have as much right as any other province in Zimbabwe to be properly and rightfully represented at any meetings of any political party, including Zanu-PF. You cannot just put somebody whom you want and claim it's a congress. The moment you start doing that, then it's not a congress. It's your own gathering. It's a private Kasukuere gathering. It's a private Jonathan Moyo gathering. Then it ceases to be a congress. These are some of the issues which we want to be tested by the laws of this country. That people can just be, willy-nilly removed from going to a congress when they've got the credentials. But more than that, we want the people at grassroots level, at cell level, at all structures of the party level, to contest a situation where somebody arbitrarily decides to remove you and put somebody else according to his will to go and represent you at a congress. It's a fight for all Zimbabweans. It's the fight which we fought during the liberation struggle. So the fight has gone basic. It has gone from Harare right to the cells of the party structures of Zanu-PF. So we are appealing to people of Zimbabwe at all levels to support and those in Zanu-PF.
For these and other stories, visit our website www.263chat.com. Follow us on Twitter @263chat and like our Facebook page 263chat.